Okay, so we're talking trading.
And we all love to see a stock price going up.
Right.
But what if I told you there was a way to actually, gauge the strength of that move?
Yeah, okay.
To see if it's really got legs or if it's just,
Yeah,
about to fizzle out.
for sure.
And that's what we're looking at today.
That's one of the things that volume analysis can do for us.
Exactly.
So that's what we're doing today.
We're taking a deep dive into volume analysis.
Awesome.
And our source material for this deep dive is going to be
An excerpt from Investopedia's article.
Volume Analysis, How to Calculate Its Meaning.
Okay, great.
And this was written by a CMT, which is a chartered market technician.
Wow.
So they know their stuff.
And it was also reviewed by financial experts.
So this is
it.
the good stuff. So basically, instead of just looking at price action.
We're also going to be looking at how many shares are being traded.
Right.
How much action is actually happening.
And what that can tell us.
Absolutely.
So what can volume tell us that maybe price alone can't?
It's all about conviction, right?
Sure.
So price will show you the direction, obviously.
Right.
But volume is really going to tell you how much belief, how much...
how much conviction is
yeah.
behind that move?
So high volume is generally a confirmation signal.
It shows a lot of traders agree on the direction.
Okay.
So think of it like this.
A stock jumps 10% on low volume.
It could be anything, right?
Right.
It could be a rumor. It could be a fluke.
But if a stock jumps 10% on huge volume,
That's a statement.
traders are piling in because they believe in the move.
So high volume equals strong conviction. Okay, what about the opposite?
What if the volume is really low?
Does that always mean we're in trouble?
Not necessarily, yeah.
Sometimes a low volume price move can be. Actually, a very interesting signal,
Okay.
particularly when we're talking about something called the negative volume index.
Or NVI.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to get to.
Because I've heard traders talk about the NVI, and it's
Yeah.
almost like,
It's their secret weapon.
Right.
Like, they don't
Sure.
want other people to know about it.
right, exactly.
So what is it about the NVI?
That's so special.
Well, the really cool thing about the NVI is that it can potentially give us a glimpse.
Into what the smart money is doing,
Okay.
So the NVI actually focuses on price changes.
When volume is lower than the previous day.
Okay.
So the idea is that when everyone else is kind of panicking
Right.
or chasing hype.
The more sophisticated investors, they might be making their moves under the radar
Okay.
during these lower volume periods.
So if we see like a stock and it's just kind of.
Slowly creeping up,
Right.
but the volume's really
But
low.
the NVI would still be.
Yeah, it would factor that in.
It'd factor that price change in.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and that's why so many investors find the NVI.
To be such a powerful tool, right?
Right.
It helps filter out.
All the noise from like the day traders
Right.
and the emotional reactions
And it gives you a little bit of a clearer picture.
of the underlying sentiment.
It's like having X-ray vision
Kind of, yeah.
into the market.
So we're talking about the NVI.
But I know that there is a.
Counterpart to that,
Right.
the positive volume index,
Exactly. The PVI.
or PVI.
How does that one work?
So the PVI is like the NVI is more,
Outgoing cousin.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's looking for those big volume moves.
Okay.
So it focuses on price changes when the volume is higher than the previous day.
Okay.
So it's a way to really confirm the strength of a move.
Got it.
So if a stock breaks through a resistance level,
On huge volume.
the PVI is going to light up.
A Christmas tree.
Okay,
It's a pay.
pay attention.
So that's a clear signal to
Sit up and take notice.
Exactly. But we were talking about how the NVI,
Can potentially give us a glimpse into,
what the smart money is doing.
yeah.
Can the PVI tell us anything about that?
Or is it more just like,
Broad stroke.
the PVI is definitely more broad strokes.
Okay.
It's really capturing the enthusiasm
Oh, lack thereof.
of the market as a whole.
Got it.
So, think of it like this.
A high PVI reading on a breakout.
It suggests a strong conviction.
But it doesn't necessarily tell you who is driving that conviction.
Right, okay.
It could be institutions. It could be retail traders. It could be a mix of both.
So it's more just telling us like...
The what?
Exactly.
The what, not the who.
Whereas the NVI might be able to considerably...
Exactly.
Yeah.
A little insight into
Yeah, it
that.
might give you a better sense of...
When those more calculated
They're
plays.
making their moves.
Got it. Okay.
So that's really interesting.
And I think it's important.
To emphasize that?
No single indicator
Right.
is the magic,
Crystal ball.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whether it's PVI, NVI.
Or anything else.
Right.
It's all about putting together the pieces of the puzzle.
100%. Yeah.
Like we were talking about.
But before we move on,
From these volume indicators,
I'm curious.
are the PVI and the NVI
Only relevant in
a stock market?
that's a great question.
Or can they be used
Other assets too.
like crypto?
You can absolutely apply them to other markets.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, volume analysis it's really a universal language in trading.
So whether you're looking at stocks, futures, Forex, or crypto.
The principles are all the same.
Okay.
Volume provides context,
It reveals conviction.
and it can even offer clues about who's driving the price action
So even in the wild world of crypto.
with all its volatility
Yeah,
and 24/7 trading. Volume can still be our guide.
absolutely.
Okay.
Now you're right. The different markets they definitely have their own personalities.
Okay.
So crypto might show, more dramatic volume swings.
Then say a blue chip stock.
Right.
But the fundamental insights,
That you can get from volume analysis.
they hold true across the board.
So it's like having a compass.
And it doesn't matter where you are
Exactly.
in the financial world.
That compass is still going to point you in the right direction.
Exactly.
I like that.
So for our listeners out there,
Who are like, okay,
I want to add this to my toolkit.
where's a good place to begin?
Should we just jump into
Elite EI and NVI.
Or is there maybe like,
A more gradual approach.
it seems like volume analysis can be so powerful.
But like any tool, I imagine there are things to watch out for.
Sure.
Are there any common pitfalls?
Or misconceptions about volume analysis
Yeah.
that we should be aware of.
A really common one.
Is this idea that high volume?
Automatically means buy.
Oh,
Yep.
interesting.
Right.
Because we see a lot of action.
And we think, oh, something good must be happening.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing about volume is,
it's directionless.
okay,
So a surge in volume,
can confirm a breakout.
but that breakout could be up or down.
Oh, I see. So
Uh-huh.
it's kind of like,
You see a bunch of footprints
Right.
at a crime scene.
you know something happened,
Exactly.
but you don't know which way they were running
You need more information.
to figure out
Right.
what actually happened.
Okay, you have to
Well, how about-
consider the other factors too.
Right.
Like, what's the overall market trend?
Right.
What are the company-specific news?
What are the technical indicators telling you?
Volume is just one piece of the puzzle.
Got it.
It just tells you how much conviction is behind the move.
Okay.
And another important point,
I did.
not all volume is created equal.
Okay, what do you mean?
So a sudden spike in volume,
That's caused by like a big institutional investor
okay,
dumping their shares.
that's very different.
A gradual increase in volume over several days,
Right.
driven by growing retail interest.
So again, it's like
Exactly.
we need the context.
Context is everything
For all of this.
to make sense.
Yep. Okay.
So we always want to try to understand.
The why behind the volume.
Yes.
Look for patterns
Exactly.
over time.
And not be afraid to dig deeper
100%. Yeah.
when we see something unusual.
Yeah.
Well, this has been so eye-opening
I feel like we've really done a deep dive.
on volume analysis today.
For sure.
Any final words of wisdom
For our listeners out there.
as they start to explore this?
Fascinating aspect of trading.
Here's something to think about.
We talked about how volume behaves,
In different situations,
but how might those patterns actually change?
depending on the overall market environment.
Ooh, interesting.
Right.
So how might volume indicators behave differently
In a really volatile market.
versus a stable one?
Oh, good question.
That's something to watch.
As you start to,
Practice and
right.
hone your skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like anything else, the more we do it.
The more practice we get, the better we're going to be able to spot those patterns.
So you have it.
That's volume analysis.
It's not just about how much a stock moves.
It's about the story behind that movement.
I love it.
So by understanding volume
You can get a deeper understanding of what's happening.
in the market,
Exactly.
you can make more informed trading decisions.
Happy trading, everybody.